computer's like stressed out. It's too much going on.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode, I think it's 516 of the New York Knicks podcast.
Could you have less energy, Jay?
Do you want me to? You want me to bring
No, it's just like, welcome to the show. I have as much energy as Dennis Smith does. This is
Oh,
they'd
wait.
be like, hey, welcome to the show. Like, come on, bring it, Jay. Keep the recording, but bring it, Jay. Come on.
So maybe
Bring it. Pretend Tibbs is your coach and you have to bring it.
maybe we could start not doing the shows at my bedtime. That would help. Or
Maybe you should get an adult get some kids, Jay, so you can relate to me. Can you have kids?
Sure, I will have kids and then I will age them 8 years so we're on the same level.
Yes, exactly. Can you adopt? Just go find an orphanage and be like, what are you looking for? I don't know. Kids that go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, that's my only criteria. Kids that go to bed at 9 o'clock and hopefully their parents weren't on crack.
All right, so we are part of the Lineups. We're still on the intro, by the way. Part of the Lineups podcast network at lineups.com, the Big Heads Media Network at bigheadsmedia.com. We are on Dash Radio. We are doing all our shows live now on Twitch, twitch.tv/crumpledbacon. That's what it
You
is.
should lead with the Twitch thing. Like, not the everything else. Like, Twitch is the big thing, Jay. Jay's building up an audience. We are taking over Twitch. At some point, we will almost have, I don't know. We're taking over Twitch.
And we are also posting the live shows on YouTube in case you missed the Twitch stream. But
Yes.
if you do that, still download the episode.
Yes.
Because
Also on Pornhub, you'll find us after you're finished with whatever your viewing material. We'll come on afterwards as you're cleaning up.
So the YouTube channel is TITOWAJ. So you could go there and
I'm sorry, what's the YouTube channel?
TITOWAJ.
Or you want no one to find it?
I had a public access show, The Incredible Thing of Will and Jay. So that's TITOWAJ.
That sounds like an incredible thing. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to start a new one. Those are really important to keep those.
Do you want to start
I understand
doing
why you want
to, all the background stuff? Do you want to do any of this? Or,
Not at all.
Jay, just, create multiple YouTube channels and...
I don't do jack shit. We are also on now a site called Persona, which is a site where you can do questions and answers to things. The point of us being on there is that if you would like to join our show with like voicemails, this show, you can go on the site and ask us questions that we'll answer on the show, and we'll play you asking the question.
So you can go to trypersona.com to get that, and you could leave video responses too. So we can actually patch the. Well, I will figure it out because Mark will just yell at me if I don't get it right.
I'll never figure it out.
I will patch the video response in to this stream, and then you can.
So
see
you can
yourself.
come and watch the stream, see yourself on the stream asking us a question. You have to go on Facebook and Twitter. We'll post the link to Persona. You have to go through the link to answer. But anyway, the Knicks are playing basketball. It's
Sorry, we're out of time. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was
okay. It's finally the regular season. The Knicks had a very successful preseason. They went 3-1. Preseason ended with a game against Cleveland. It might as well have been the Cleveland high school, whatever, basketball team. They did not put much of a squad out there, but the Knicks won by 40 points in one of the most awesome. It was a preseason game, but it was one of the most awesome games I've seen the Knicks play. It was the rise of Emmanuel Quickley, who is now the answer at point guard, but injured. He looked amazing. We had a lot of hope going to the regular season. And then what happened, Jay?
Well, then two bad things happened.
And then one good thing happened.
and then
we're back to having hope.
So in every loss, the Knicks also get an injury, and then in every win, everyone's healthy.
So I feel like every game had like a theme.
Mhm.
So the last preseason game, it had the theme was, oh my God, this guy Emmanuel Quickly might be the answer at point guard. We finally have a point guard. This could be amazing. Then came the Pacer game, which was an interesting game. The theme in that game was, holy crap, RJ Barrett has taken a step forward. He's going to be an all-star. He went 9 for 9 to start the game. Holy crap, I have RJ fever. If RJ plays this well, I don't care what else happens the rest of the season, I will be on cloud 9.
Mm-hmm.
That was followed up by the Philly game, which RJ Barrett started off missing 0 for 9. But the theme of the Philly game was, hey, when's the draft lottery? And we assumed the Buck game would have a similar, like, I think going to the Buck game, I said, hey, the schedule makers, they made Knicks start the season with back-to-back against the 76ers and the Bucks, 3 playoff teams in a row with we include the Pacers. The schedule makers cannot stop laughing about what they're doing to the Knicks. This is awful. And then the Knicks played a majestic, wonderful game against the Bucks. It was goddamn amazing.
I don't even know how they pulled that off, really.
I remember a number of years ago, the Knicks were opening the season against the Miami Heat. This is LeBron Heat days. This was when the Knicks were actually really good, that like the one season. And I remember I was home. My wife, my in-laws came over. They were all going out to dinner. They said, Mark, it's okay. You can stay home and watch the Knicks play the Heat. Have fun. I'm sure the Heat will crush them. The Knicks won that game by 20 points. They goddamn dominated LeBron that night. And I remember when my in-laws came home, they're like, oh, how'd it go? And I was like, the Knicks dominated. You have no idea how good this game was. And that's how I felt about this game. This was just like awesome. It was so much fun.
So we're not going to say what happened after that Miami win because I don't want to go down that route.
Forget about that. That was the year. That was the 54 win season. So it was a good year overall.
Mm-hmm.
But forget. I don't want to live in the past. Well, I want to live in the past as far as this last weekend, but I don't want to live in the past before then. Briefly, we're gonna get some comments on each game, and then we're gonna go through the roster and how we're gonna give some what we think of the players' performance through 3 games.
Okay.
So I thought it'd actually be a fun thing to do, and I didn't even tell you this in advance. Jay usually does a player ranking. He says like the top player ranking, a Knicks power ranking.
Player
okay?
power rankings, yeah.
Yes. So maybe we can come up with one on the show and do the performance. We'll start like at the top, who's been the best player, and then the second best player, and go from there with our list.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
But basically, briefly, the Pacer game, the Knicks played an awesome first half, and in the second half, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Which was reminiscent of the last 10 years.
The big themes I saw from that game, first of all, Sabonis goddamn owns the Knicks.
Sabonis he's just really, really good. Like, he's one of the best forwards in the East right now.
Well, he's a center, right? Or is he a power forward? I guess maybe he's a power forward.
I don't know. They don't seem to know what to do because they have Miles Turner, and they're like, we kind of thought you were going to be the guy, and you're not. So now we have you and Sabonis, and
Sabonis was like a borderline all-star last year. I think he's going to be a flat-out all-star. I think he's going to be. He is awesome. Yeah. If I was the Patriots coaching staff, here's what my strategy against the Knicks would be. Okay, Sabonis, we're going to keep giving him the ball until the entire Knicks team fouls out. And then that'll be about on halftime.
We're going to do... Sorry, what?
Oh, did I pause my audio go out? Great. I said my strategy against the Knicks would be this. I'd be like, okay, here's the game plan. We give the ball to Sabonis and keep giving the ball to Sabonis until the entire Knicks team fouls out.
Yeah, I mean that would probably work, actually.
Yeah, I have to say I thought some of the fouls, they gave. I don't know. I don't know if they were kind of being somewhat generous with the foul calls they gave against the Knicks. What was that barking?
We have a dog that's joined the show.
Hey guys, it's Peter. Sorry.
Oh, there's Peter. I was going to say where's the dog coming from?
I've been silently listening for the past 90 minutes, and the dog I'm just kidding. I just joined. I apologize for joining late.
No worries at all. We special guest Peter, friend of the show. He's been on Brink before. I forget if you've been on Knicks before.
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyway, Peter, he's from Brooklyn. He's a huge Knicks fan, and he's here to give his take on stuff also. So, Peter, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I feel like we're going to be a bad team again this year, probably, but a fun bad team.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
pleasant bad team to watch
So
occasionally.
I was saying that, and you must have missed it, and I'm sure our audience will love me repeating this. But basically, we're going to talk very briefly about the 3 games, and then what I thought would be fun to do would be talk about the whole roster, like go through each player and talk about their performance through 3 games, but also talk about them in the order. Jay likes to do a player power ranking, so we'll start at who's been the best, second best, third best, go through the roster that way.
All right.
And we can decide. We can decide who. We can come to a an agreement of who's been best and so forth.
So we already have a correction for you, Mark. Jim corrected you and said, yeah, Sabonis was an All-Star last season.
Yeah, I said he was borderline All-Star. I mean, he was.
But how do you be a borderline All-Star when you're on the All-Star team?
Fine. I guess I guess what I meant
speaking.
was he was an All-Star, but I think people thought he was a questionable All-Star last year. He was kind of like a fringe, like he made the All-Star team. Fine, whatever. Okay, he was on the All-Star. I knew he was on the All-Star team. I just thought he was one of the last additions, so to speak.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Fine,
know
the Knicks are a fringe all team. We're a fringe podcast. Leave me alone. Anyway, so my basic points of the game: Sabonis was goddamn awesome. I think Miles Turner. They're still adding up how many blocks he got against the Knicks. It was absurd.
Yeah. It might have been a record.
Might have been a record. RG Barrett played goddamn awesome that game. Thought he might be an all-star. And it was also the emergence of Alex Burks, who apparently is this year's Marcus Morris. Peter, what was your take on that game?
No, I was going to say RJ and Alec, I think were RJ I have high expectations for, but I think he shot like perfect in the first half and it seemed to be, driving a lot of what was happening. And then with Alec, I was just like very surprised that he would subsequently put in 2 more great performances. So that was like a pleasant surprise, but yeah, I thought they were the bright points.
Yeah, totally fair. Jay, what was your take on? Jay, are you surprised by as surprised about Alec Burks as I am?
Yeah, he was 2 points away from being the first Knick with having 20-point games in his first 3 games as a Knick
since Melo.
Since Melo, which was he has like a quiet 20 points. Like
I don't know if it's that quiet, but okay.
I don't know, when I'm watching the game, I'm like I don't notice, and then I look up and he's got like 18 points, and I'm like I didn't even remember him hitting more than 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah. That's how I felt too. It does seem to go like I'm trying to think of any Knick in history who sort of had that kind of profile, and I can't really think of any who could just sort of maybe like way back in the day. You would never expect someone like I don't know, like Oakley or Charlie Ward to have that many points, but like every once in a while they would. But yeah, it was a very sneaky like 20 points again and again and again on pretty decent shooting too.
I mean, some of the stats the Knicks have put up, and we'll get to when we talk about the player rankings, but some of these guys like Burks, I mean, they're all going to revert to the mean, but like Burks has been goddamn on fire. Randall's been on fire from 3. Like, seems has been shockingly good so far. Yeah. So basically, overall take, I thought the game was. I know the Knicks lost to the Pacers, but I didn't feel so bad for the game. I mean, the Knicks played. Generally they played 2 great. The first half was great. Third quarter was. I mean, they shit the bed. Fourth quarter was fine. Didn't win the game, but they played well enough, right?
It was well enough that I wasn't like angry. I'm like, okay, well, it was like a fun loss, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like the team, you're like, this could be an entertaining team. I mean, that also the not entertaining part of the night was that Emmanuel quickly got injured.
Yep.
He'll be back.
Did you guys talk about his performance yet? In that game?
No. I guess I was going to save it more to the player rankings, but if you want to, I mean, this is his whole performance is this game. Do you want? Let's just touch on the rookie. Both rookies apparently got injured in this game, so we can touch on them right now. What do you think about Quickly?
I mean, I thought he looked great while he was on the court, and I thought he was doing a very good job, kind of setting the tempo in a game that I really didn't think we'd win, at all, have a chance to win at all. And it was funny because of course we played Cleveland twice right before this opener, and Indiana is set up like could not be set up more differently than the Cleveland team we faced. Not that, the quote unquote preseason matters much, but yeah, I thought when he was on the court, he was doing a great job kind of setting the tempo and facilitating a lot of Randall's play specifically. And then when I guess, what's his face, Alfred went in, he sort of totally sucked. And, I kind of knew the game was going to be over pretty quickly, no pun intended, after that.
Yeah, it's amazing how also the everyone's view on Peyton Alfred has changed so dramatically so fast. I don't know if everyone's changed completely, but like it's funny how everyone's been like out completely on Peyton, out completely on Randall, and now everyone's like, maybe we have something here with these guys.
Do you think after the game against the Bucks, like everyone's gonna be like, or the Bucks are gonna be like, Frank actually, come on, he's great again.
Frank, I mean, he's basically like Novak.
Yeah,
I thought Quickly looked so good that I thought Peyton was just going to get benched, and I dropped him from my fantasy team right before the 27-point game.
Yeah,
So,
that wasn't a good call.
I was
Jay,
feeling
I
it.
also was like, Jay was like, I'm thinking about dropping him. I'm like, Jay, you got to drop him. He sucks. Then he played pretty well.
Mark's not the best person to give advice to.
No, you shouldn't accept advice from me on just about anything. So that was the I guess so. Quickly, the last preseason game, he looked goddamn awesome. I thought he was basically the answer at point guard. He played only like 10, 12 minutes against Pacers. I thought he looked pretty good. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I think he'll be the starting point guard pretty soon. Or at least like he'll share the minutes with Peyton. Like the point guard minutes are going to those two guys.
I think my dropping of Peyton is not going to look as horrendous like a week or two from now.
Or even the next game.
I wouldn't be surprised if Peyton gets dropped by whoever picked him up like within the next 5 or 6 games.
Probably. So then we had the 76er game, which the Knicks just looked flat out bad.
Yep.
Anything redeeming about this game? The Knicks looked okay for the first quarter. After that, it started getting slowly out of hand. They had, what the problem is? Like, I thought they had a really good strategy against Embiid. I think the strategy against Embiid is you don't want him driving. Around the post, he's a nightmare. If Embiid wants to shoot from the outside, let him. He wants to shoot the three, let him. He's not that good of a three-point shooter. The only problem is sometimes he hits the 3 points. 3-point. He hit 2 3-pointers. If he's going to hit a shot from the outside, well, you're just screwed.
I mean, everyone in the NBA mostly is going to hit a wide open 3-pointer at some point, but he's not that good at it. And I'd let him shoot threes all day.
No, him and Giannis. I know Giannis had like 1 or 2. Like I feel like you let them. They're so dangerous inside. And we're gonna foul you also. So just shoot your 3. I'm fine with you. I'm fine with that strategy.
Yeah.
But by the way, and Ben. So this is the game. Also, RJ did not look very good. Ben Simmons just ate his lunch.
Yep.
Ben Simmons is a great defender, one of the best in the NBA. After RJ went 9 for 9 to start one game, he goes 0 for 9 to start the other game. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I took him on my one-day fantasy league, and I got like almost no points from him.
Jay, I feel like I should set up another like fantasy league and just ask what you're doing, and then just invert your choices and become rich.
What you could do is just close your eyes and draft anybody, and then the rest of the season just pick up whoever I drop.
Yeah,
you'd have Peyton and Kuzma right now.
Do you think I could do like a newsletter for fantasy advice where like everyone knows it's like the George Costanza and just do the opposite thing?
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta drop Peyton. Peyton's garbage. Everyone's like, the most added player on ESPN fantasy leagues is Alfred Payton because he's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, you should do like a Jay's plays feature, and then just like, hey everyone, here's what Jay's plays are for this week. Please do the opposite. Just like post it on Facebook.
After the Philly game, we were all kind of down. We were all like, is this season going to end soon?
Wait, can I make one point? Just one fun thing about the Philly game. So I did two things. The 2 notes I had were, 1, they wore those new weird jerseys, and 2, I think Bullock had a jersey that was misnumbered completely. It was like 20. It was his number 25 in the front, and I think 23 in the back.
Yeah, they had to stop the game because they were like, "You're right. He's wearing the wrong jersey." He had to actually leave the game because he had the wrong jersey.
Yeah, they had 2 number 25s on it at one point. 2 different players.
I think 23 because he also had
223.
Mitch's number. Yeah.
Yep.
That was I would say embarrassing. But I'm like, as far as the Knicks screwing stuff up, like I don't know, no one got thrown out of the building. That was this is fine. That was pretty funny. What? My son was watching a little bit with me. He's like, "Why do they have new jerseys?" I'm like, "I don't know, because they want you to buy the new jerseys." And he's like, "Okay, get me one." I'm like, "No, I'm not getting it."
See, it worked.
I have to say the one thing that cool. I don't know if you guys would know this. The money from that's raised from those jerseys are going to like Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Is that pretty cool? Yeah. Sorry. I read that wrong. I mean Nike. It's going to Nike. Well, what do they have to sell more stuff? Could they at least connect it to a cause? Holy crap.
The thing is also like pumping out these new jerseys, and it's like everyone's should be at least like staying at home. It's like, man, I can't wait to cop this new jersey and just like wear it to bed. It's gonna be like sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
This will be awesome for my Zoom call with friends.
Yeah. Hey guys, check it out. Check out this thing I'm not wearing to a game until 2026.
Like the city never sleeps, but I don't see it anymore because I don't go outside.
Exactly. Oh man. But yeah, that was a bummer of a game too. Like there were some positives out of the Indiana game, even though it was a loss. And then the Philly game, you just feel, and I know we're missing, our 2 first-round picks, but like, yeah, you're kind of like, well, okay, that was not a fun game to watch us lose.
Do you want to touch on Obi? Oh, I didn't. Toppin. What do you think of Toppin so far? So he played all of like 10 minutes in the first game. He's out for like 2 weeks now. They said he's going to miss. He's going to be reevaluated in 10 days, so it's going to be a little while.
Is that the most Knicks thing to have 2 first-round picks and have them both not last to the second game of the season?
Yeah, I think so.
No, the most Knicks thing is go, hey, the guy's going to be our best player this year? Let's draft a guy who's slightly younger and a worse version of him. let's create a logjam for no good reason.
Yeah.
Oh, who else could they have taken? Anyone else at that pick would have been so much better. But that's great. They got Obi Toppin. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Toppin so far? Like you've seen a little of him. He was advertised to me as being like his defense is not going to be good, but he's NBA ready when it comes to his offense. What do you guys think?
He's about what I expected. He has a nice dunk every game and doesn't do much else.
Peter, what do you think?
I had slightly higher hopes for him, but I guess my like range of expectations were, like shoots like 3 for like 13 every like 5 games, and then all the games in between averages like 6 points. His first season, like I didn't think he'd be much of a impact like to start the season, and frankly this entire year. But I do think that maybe he'd be a good trade piece like in a year or something, or maybe growing something else. But my expectations were not like super high. It just was a little bit higher than Jay's probably.
I thought he'd actually be pretty solid on offense. I was hoping maybe like I was just trying to buy into this. Like I thought he'd be like just terrible on defense, but really good on offense. He looks like a project on offense. I don't know. I'd have to find a way to use him, but he looks like he's going to take a while before he's actually good. He did go 3 for 7 from 3 in the Pacer game, but it seemed kind of like, I don't know. Did we draft Luke Cornett? I don't understand.
If only.
Anyway, so then they had the Bucks game. Anyway, Toppin hopefully will end up. He'll be back soon. The Bucks game was goddamn awesome. I mean, the Knicks played unbelievably. Barrett had like a decent game, but this was the game where everyone was like, hey, should we extend Julius Randle?
Yep.
I know they were up by 20-something at the half. I still thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, I kept waiting for that to happen. Yeah, I mean, of course you're waiting for that. You're like, I don't know. The Bucks have pulled pulled all their starters, but they're still probably going to find a way to win this with 6 minutes to go in the fourth.
Dude, we could have we could have been beating the Bucks the way the Mavericks were beating the Clippers at the half, and I still might have thought we would lose.
I mean, the dumbest comment I saw online when people were like, why are the starters still in with 2 minutes to go? I'm like, we want to make sure we win this game. What the hell's wrong with you? Have you not seen this? Have you not been a fan very long?
I think Thibodeau thought the same thing we did. He's like, no, they're going to blow it. I'm going to play the starters, even though we're up by 25 with 2 minutes left.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing for the minutes here. I'm like, keep them in. You put Theo Pinson in. That was risky with 12 seconds to go. This game was goddamn awesome. Randall looked great. Barrett actually looked pretty decent. Elfrid Payton looked goddamn awesome. So after the 76er game, Payton looked so terrible. Everyone was trashing him. And he stayed after the 76er game to shoot baskets, work on his shot. And everyone heard that and said, oh, well, Payton's, he better be there all night because he sucks. And it turned out that helped, actually, because he went 12 for 16 on goddamn fire.
Yeah.
You're welcome for the advice for dropping him, Jack.
This is almost
Randall
like
looked
when you told me
awesome
to sell.
too.
So speaking of Randall, let's start our play rankings. Who's been the best player so far? Randall?
Yeah, it's not even close.
I'd say Randall.
Not even close. Okay, so what is your take on Randall through 3 games? I'm going to point out I'm going to read his stats through 3 games because I think this is just like something that needs to be read in the show because they may never be this good again. 23 points a game, that's fine. He is shooting currently 55% from the field and 55% from 3-point land. He's 10 rebounds a game, and I think the stat I like the most, even beyond the shooting, he's averaging over 6 assists a game.
He's on my fantasy team, so I'm very well aware of these numbers.
Oh my God, he's been good.
Yeah.
If the Knicks signed anyone else and they were this good, we'd already have a parade going for this person. We have a statue going for this guy.
Yep.
Have you also noticed, like, on like Twitter, everyone's like, let's get rid of Randall, and now like all the talk is like, maybe we have someone. Maybe this 26-year-old really talented player could be good.
I saw a comment today that said the team is worse with him on the court.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Was it Toppin's mom?
I mean, he's by far the best player.
I mean, he's by far the best player in the team.
Also, if you're getting that many assists, you're not making the team worse.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, I know Tibbs has been there for like 12 seconds. How bad of a coach is Fizdale?
Horrendous.
He may never work again.
I mean,
horrendous.
I mean, Fizdale should be calling Tibbs. Can you let up a little bit? I don't want to. I'm kind of embarrassed. Miller made me look bad. This is goddamn a joke. How bad I look.
Doesn't it make you wonder, like, what was he like? What was he actually doing? Like, was he actually like doing like coaching?
I don't know what. All I remember from it was like he would take the players to playoff games to show them what the playoffs were like, as if they didn't know what the playoffs were like. And he'd be like they play Cleveland, and he'd be like, "Hey, LeBron, can you talk to Knox for a second? Why? Because you talk to him, he'll play like you. That's how it works."
It's like some avant-garde, like Crystal Energy coaching type stuff. Like I would be surprised if Kyrie got the what was that thing? He lit some fire. That idea from Fizdale.
Yeah,
cleansing with whatever sage. That could have been a Fizdale thing potentially. Consistent with his other sort of like, speak to these people and they will have your power.
Fizdale is kind of like he does that, and I'm sure on a good team with a good roster of guys who already know how to play, he could do the motivational stuff and kind of maybe help. Like he's be their buddies and stuff. But he's almost like this motivational speaker. Your company hires you all sit there for 45 minutes. He talks a bunch of cliches, and afterwards you're like, well, that was a fucking waste of time.
So the last bunch of Knicks coaches, Fizdale not coaching anymore, Fisher not coaching anymore, Rambis not coaching anymore, Woodson assistant coach, and
Woodson, welcome. He was the last successful one, and he's back on the roster.
I know, but he's an assistant. It's just funny. Like, and then
Hornacek
and D'Antoni's an assistant coach, and Hornacek's not coaching.
D'Antoni was a coach for a while, so he actually was successful.
Where is he an assistant coach? D'Antoni?
Brooklyn.
He's in Brooklyn now.
He's Steve Nash's assistant.
Got it.
Which is a little
that makes sense.
I
mean, like whatever. I feel like you have to take every time when you leave a coaching job, like you have to take a break. So maybe he's gonna. Obviously, him and Nash have a good relationship.
Can you imagine? Think back to like when Woodson and D'Antoni were coaching, and how much immense amounts of shit and grief we gave them. Like, and looking back, like they were the bright shining luminaries of the Knicks coaching hierarchy for like the last like decade plus. Like it's really crazy.
We were like, what is Woodson doing? We have to get him out of here so we can hire 5 straight coaches who are horrible.
Yeah. Like Woodson can't. I thought this guy was a defensive coordinator at some point, but like they don't play D. It's like,
they're like,
just wait. You just wait, guys.
We're doing so much switching. You know who did a lot of switching? Also, the Warriors.
Yeah.
And like we're shooting a lot of threes. Oh, I wonder if this will catch on. Anyway, Randall. So here's the question about Randall. What is sustainable? What's some of this could just be a blip. Like he can come back to earth. Some things will be real. is he going to be 55% from the field? Like, is he shooting 3 and from the generally what do you guys think are happening with the shooting?
No way. I think it'll settle like somewhere in the ideally like high 40s, but maybe a little lower. But I would be shocked if he's.
You don't think he'll be 55% from 3 the rest of the season?
That would be something. That would be really something.
Well, you look at he generally speaking, he's usually above 50%. Like the last couple of years before the Knicks, it was 52%, 55%, 48.8%. Or generally, he's usually a pretty efficient player, at least from 2. He's never been a great 3-point shooter, but he's usually a pretty efficient, like 2-point, like from 2. So like actually, his whole career, he's pretty much always above 50% from 2. Generally speaking, he's pretty. I think, like last year, he started off so bad from the field. I think near the end of the year, he was actually coming on. I think he's going to be generally pretty efficient. Just he'll not be this efficient in 3.
Baby Aqua said Fizdale probably taught Randall his spin move.
Yes, probably. He's like, just dribble the ball as much as you can.
Twirl to the basket.
Twirl. Try to find 3 guys to come. You get to spin to the 3 guys. What about his assist numbers? 6 assists a game. Is this sustainable?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is the number I think is most encouraging. Tibbs has gotten in his short time here, he has convinced Randall you have to pass the ball, and Randall seems to be listening. The whole point power forward thing that Fizdale said is kind of actually happening.
I mean, he's pretty much working. LeBron at this point.
Exactly, LeBron's point. The rebounding numbers will probably be around. Do you think at the end of this, so the Knicks have the option to just pick up? Knicks can just pick up his option for next season. Predict now. Will Julius Randle be on the Knicks next season?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, who's next? Who's been the second best player on the team?
I would say probably Barrett, even though he had one bad game. I don't know if any other players had like 3 good games.
Alex Burks? Alex Burks has not had 3 good games?
So are you asking the best player or like the best performer?
Performance. This is all performance. This is not the best player. This is just like pure performance through 3 games. We're just ranking the player.
Yeah, I might say Alec performance-wise, but I would say RJ, player-wise, although I think it's probably close between those 2.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, let's go to Burks because I think Burks has played so well that he's played, and Barrett has been a complete package. He's played defense, he's played everything, but I think Burks generally has been pretty good.
I keep forgetting Burks is on the team. I
know.
It's so weird.
I think like someone like that gets a bump in like player rankings because by virtue of the like degree of surprise. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't think people expected, that out of him.
Expectation versus performance. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's weird because he was on Utah for like 6 or 7 seasons. Then he's been like 7 teams or 6 teams the last couple of years. He's like bounced around somehow. He's a solid player.
He even has a forgettable face.
Yeah, he's got like kind of like he's got that. He's kind of reminds me vaguely kind of Chris Childs, like sort of vaguely, like a little bit. Even though obviously he's a shooting guard, but he does have a forgettable face. But yeah, I was shocked to learn he's been in the league for a decade. I was like, I didn't know. Like Jay, you keep forgetting he's on our team. Like I didn't know this guy was in the NBA. Like,
he was hidden in Utah for a while with the Mormons, and I don't know. Like last year, he was on a terrible, terrible Golden State team. He was pretty good, but not good enough for them to actually keep him. Because the Knicks got him for really cheap this year. Mm-hmm. 1 year, $6 million. I mean, not cheap in the NBA standards. But let me point out his stats. He is averaging 20 points a game on 53% from shooting from the field. He's shooting on 5 shots from 3. What do you think his shooting percentage is?
36.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say like 40.
40%. So, and would that be pretty good, right? 40% from the field on 5 shots a game would be pretty awesome. 67%.
Oh my God.
67. He is hitting 3.3 threes per 5 threes he takes per game. Obviously, might be unsustainable, but holy crap.
So he's also pretty much LeBron James.
He's also he's getting a couple rebounds. He's getting 3.7 assists a game. So he's even passing the ball.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
By the way,
he's
by the way,
second.
does he?
Oh, sorry.
Do we just call the Clippers and go, "You wanted Morris, you want him?" Like around the deadline, we'll trade him. Like he's clearly like our mark. He's getting traded, right?
I would think, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my forgetting of him will be complete because I won't have to remember him after that.
And he'll start sucking when he gets the Clippers. I've already seen on Twitter people saying, "I don't know, should we keep Burks?" Just like the same exact Marcus Morris discussion. Maybe he's something. Maybe he could be an all. Maybe at age 29, he finally becomes an all-star.
I mean, most players have a slow development curve, and at 29, shoot right to the moon.
Yeah, he does. He has looked pretty awesome.
I mean, with this trajectory, he'll probably be an all-star by 37.
So through 3 games, he's been hitting 3. Like, what's sustainable? What's not? What do you expect from him?
I suspect a drop off. 14. I would think 14 is more realistic.
He shot over 40% from 3 on about 4 threes a game last year for the Gold State. He could be a 40% from 3 guy, which would be, we need guys that can shoot 3 so badly. So that would be awesome.
You don't think he's going to stay around 60?
I think he'll go into 7. He'll actually break. Mr. Robinson set the record for field goal percentage. He will break it just from 3 this year. Anything else you want to add about Burks besides the fact that he's been goddamn awesome?
Nope.
By the way, do you keep wanting to call him Alex and just being like, Alec? Okay, Alec, not Alex. It's confusing.
I also want to call him Burke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next,
Burke is tempting.
Yeah.
Next, we agree on RJ next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. RJ, even when he's played poorly, he seems to have played like he does other things. He plays defense. He passes the ball. You want to hear stats? I don't care if you want to, but
yeah.
I've learned not to respond to your rhetorical question.
17.7 points a game. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I asked her. I'm just going to read them. 17.7 per game, 42% from the field. He's shooting 4 threes a game. What do you think his shooting percentage from 3 is? It's slightly below Burks.
Like 29 or 28, like below 30 for sure.
What do you think, Jay?
34.
23. He's been especially because he in the first game he was like 3 for 3 from 3. That he's been so bad from 3.
For those people who don't know, the league average is 36%.
Yeah. So he but
which is higher than I thought it was.
7 rebounds a game, 4 assists. The Knicks have 3 guys. There's 3 guys that are playing many minutes who are averaging at least 3 or above assists, and we haven't even mentioned the point guard yet. So the Knicks are passing the ball.
I wonder if the league average was a lot lower in the past. Because I feel
the guys have gotten better. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like 36% would have been like almost tops in the league like 10 years ago.
So, and I'm not going to remember the exact on this, but like they said, when Golden State won their first title, they averaged, and I'm not going to get the exact number, something like 37 threes a game or 36 threes a game. Last year, they shot the exact same amount of threes a game. You know where they were? They were 19th in the league in threes taken. So, like, the league is just gone insane with threes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense. Just like the stats, like just running the numbers, right? Even if you shoot like 1% higher, 3-pointers than your opponents on average, it just makes a lot of sense if you got people who could do that.
I mean, the league average is 36%. If you shoot 33% from 3, Gesundheit. You shoot 33% from 3, it's basically like shooting 50% from the field.
Yeah.
So, it makes a lot of sense. So what do you guys want to say about RJ? What do you think? Like, big step forward, mild step forward? What are you expecting from this year?
Big step forward, I hope. And I think we've seen flashes of it before, but I'm high on him this year. I think he's going to take a big step forward.
Jay?
Yeah, I think we're still going to get those off games where he looks bad, but I think we're going to get a lot more of the good games, and he's going to basically justify the number 3 pick.
I agree completely. I think he's been like certain things, like he's been very crafty around the rim. He looks so composed when he goes to the rim. Like he's just been like, he has his balance. He knows what he's doing. He's been very good around the rim. I've been very impressed with that part. His game really is going to be 2-point shot, like I guess like mid-range twos and and basically at the rim and drawing fouls. His 3-point shooting may just be bad all season.
I mean, when he goes to the rim, he's pretty much LeBron James.
Everyone's LeBron James, Jay?
We have a whole team of LeBron James.
After the Bucks game, that might be true. So he's been awesome. Anything else you guys want to say about Barrett?
No.
Who is fourth? Who's been the fourth best guy in the 2-3 games?
This is where it gets a little harder.
Yeah.
I think this one actually. I know you said it's going to get harder. I think this one's a clear favorite here. I'm going to say the fourth best player through 3 games is Mitchell Robinson. No agreement here?
I would probably also go with Mitch. Baby Alka
Yeah.
says Knox. I would not go with Knox for 4.
I would not go. Knox hasn't been that bad actually, but I think Mitchell Robinson, the stats, he's not putting up amazing big beast stats, but he's been pretty solid on defense. The big number for him is his fouls are down. Like he's down about a half a foul a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's been staying on the court. Like he's had some, like he started off having some issues in fouls against Indiana, but generally speaking, like the Bucks game, did he even have a foul in the Bucks game? Or I think they had one personal. He had 2 personal fouls. Yeah. Whatever. But like generally speaking, fouling has not been an issue for him. He's been playing very solid defense. He's been kind of I think he makes a big difference on the court. He changes guys' shots. I think he's been really good. I think he's been, I wouldn't say really good, but I think he's been pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I think what he delivers is not necessarily going to always be on the offensive end, but I think is like a defense presence. He changes a lot of the offense of the other team. So yeah, I think I think we all want him to be, a better distributor and sort of like, I think he averages like the lowest in assists for forever.
Yeah.
It would be nice if he could use his like size and, agility to distribute the ball like from a central position, but he like maybe that's a longer project for Tibbs. But
hey Jay, can I pause? I'm not to interrupt. You guys can keep talking, but can you pause the podcast for a second? I have to get my plug. My battery's right low.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna.
Jay, we're back on. Jay has informed me that we only have about 15 minutes to go. We have a bunch of Facebook questions. Let's go through the roster real quick from here.
Okay.
Who is after Mitchell Robinson?
Bullock.
Yeah. Also anything we don't finish, we can always finish it. We can have it on the extended Twitch stream. We'll finish the last 5 minutes if we have to.
Yeah.
But you think Bullock's next?
I do. He's been good. He
Peter,
hits
who do you think?
threes. That's. I haven't been mad at him.
What's that?
I haven't been mad at him. He hasn't had a bad
say,
game. He hits threes. Like, he's fine.
I would say even though he's had 2 trash games, he was so good, I'd put Peyton next.
Yeah, like Bullock or Peyton, one of the two, but I would give the slight edge to Bullock.
Can I give you Peyton's numbers? I'm going to give you them. 11 points a game on 51% from the field, 57% from 3. That's how much last night's performance skewed his numbers.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm going Bullock. I'll go Peyton 6, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine.
He had 2 bad games. I'm not.
Okay, so Bullock, I don't know, Bullock overall, he has been 35% from 3, 36% from the field, 8 points a game. If anything, I think Alec Burks is on the bench just because they want to put some more offense on the second unit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Burks overall has been a bit of a disappointment to me.
Bullock.
I wish Bullock. Yeah, I wish he would play a little better. I actually feel like he could do a little more. He's been kind of mediocre. I am not.
Those numbers are way worse than I thought he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's hitting a lot of threes. I mean, 35%. He's like league average. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. I have not been that impressed with him overall. He doesn't get a lot of assists. He doesn't get rebounds. He doesn't do a lot.
He's the opposite of Burks, where he gives the appearance of doing well, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's a sleepy sucky.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been all that great. And just to move faster, we're moving a little faster. Peyton. Okay. We all agree that last night's performance against the Bucks, sustainable. He's going to do that the rest of the season, right?
If he does, then I'm just going to quit my fantasy league.
So he's obviously not as bad as he was the first 2 games. And I also say people were like, how do you keep playing him? He has a resume. He's not that bad. Like last year, he also started off bad. He ended up being like okay. Like he'd be a solid backup point guard for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Like, I mean, he's also 20. He's 26 years old, so there where he could grow as a player a little bit. What are you expecting from him?
I was expecting a lot better as far as like assists. He averaged 7.5.
Yeah, the assists
last
have
season.
not been there actually.
Now I'm hoping he doesn't because I'm just going to be bitter all season.
Obviously, he's somewhere in between the player from the Bucks game and the players from the other games.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he was last year.
Yeah, maybe hopefully he'll be a little bit better of a shooter.
I think last year he shot 29% from three or something like really bad.
Oh no, last year he was 20% from three.
Yeah,
not 29, but 20%. Yeah. He was 40. Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm amazed that he's taking the shots.
I think that's like Dennis Smith, like what he shoots like regular field goals.
Yeah, I don't think. Dennis Smith is goddamn awful. He does not need to play anymore, right? Dennis Smith, we're done with, right?
I hope so. I really hope so. But that's I don't know.
So seventh.
God,
seventh. We're at Knox, right?
I guess like the rest of the roster really is Knox and then Frank, those last two, and then I guess Noel's be after that. Noel's been fine, solid backup. I can see why he's a backup.
It gets really dicey after that, right? But,
yeah, I don't think we have to finish the rankings. I also Austin Rivers hasn't played yet. He will be a nice addition to the team when he plays. Yeah,
I mean somebody's gonna not play. Maybe
Bullock.
I'm thinking maybe that's Bullock's spot. Yeah,
I mean because IQ is going to play when he comes back. I think Bullock might lose some minutes because Austin Rivers is going to just be flat out better than Bullock.
Bullock's going to lose minutes, and I think Quickly and Peyton are probably going to split 50-50.
I can see that happening.
Which means Smith is out. And
Smith, yes.
Frank
Smith will be out. I mean,
out.
guys will be injured also, but Frank is not I love the 3-point shooting. He's not a point guard. You guys, anyone disagree that he thinks he's a point guard?
No, but with if you have Rivers and you have Barrett and like, where's the minutes for Frank?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it'll work out something. Somehow this will work out these minutes.
I mean,
but there aren't a lot of minutes for Frank. I mean, the first game, the Indiana game, he played 5 minutes. In the 76er game, Tibbs, who preaches defense, did not think enough of him to even put him on the court.
I mean, I'm sure he's amazing. It's just a coincidence that his last 4 coaches all didn't think he was worth playing.
What? By the way, what is this? A team that, by the way, has no 3-point shooting. I loved some of these numbers. What is Frank shooting from 3 this year?
Probably going to be really good. 39.
Yeah. 45.
67%.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's also he went 4 for 4, so that kind of shoots up his numbers when he barely plays.
Because I figure Rivers and Burks are going to split the minutes, so there's no room for Frank.
I don't know. He'll be back on the court at some point, but I mean, he also can play the 3. He could be a 3 and D.
You have Barrett and Knox at the 3. There's no room for Frank.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Knox so far? Has Knox been he's been like okay?
He's been okay. He's been okay. We ranked him right in the middle of the roster, and I think that's fair. He's had flashes. He hasn't been a complete mess, but you know, it's not like wow, we got Knox. Like it's just
He's shooting 42% from the field, 25% from 3. So like even though he was lights out in the last preseason game at 3, he's left that in the preseason. I feel like you think is there growth going on here? Is Knox getting better? Is the big question.
I think incrementally.
Yeah.
Like I think his numbers will improve, but I don't think in a way that like is noticeable for us or discernible in games. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of low on Knox.
I'd say like maybe by the time Knox is 26, he might be a good NBA player.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. At some point, maybe he'll make a bigger leap. But like, I think he looks better than he was last season. Like he's looks less lost on defense. He's looking serviceable, but like, I mean, he's 21. Maybe at some point, like maybe this will be a real slow growth where he actually ends up being a pretty good player, but it'll take a while.
Only players the Knicks draft need 5 to 7 years to develop. Everyone else,
every other
2 to 3.
Every other team is like he's immediately good. The Knicks are like he'll be good in 12 years. Peter, do you think Knox, like, is he a long-term guy like the Knicks will have?
No, I don't think he'll be on this team in like 3 years.
Yeah. Frank's actually like it'll be interesting if Frank's on the team next year. His contract's up. I mean, like the Knicks will have to sign him. Do the Knicks sign him?
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either.
Don't break tradition. He's got to go.
Yeah.
You get 4 years here, and that's the max on the Knicks.
4 and out.
Yeah.
Well,
He'll be great somewhere else.
Lee got the
sometime.
1 year rookie extension, so I think Lee actually played 5.
So forgetting the rest of the roster, there is one guy I want to talk about who's probably been the best player on the team, even better than Brandel.
Mhm.
You guys know what I'm going to say? Tibbs, our
Mhm.
coach.
Mhm.
Thibodeau has been. What do you guys think of him so far?
I mean, the team does look completely different.
Yeah.
Is it nice to have a coach who knows what he's goddamn doing?
I mean, I don't think I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't think the Knicks beat the Bucks by like 75 or whatever they wanted if Fizdale is coach.
That's a hot take there.
Very hot.
My son
Burning.
loves Tibbs because he's noticed every time Tibbs wants to scream about something, he takes his mask off. He's like, "Why is he doing that?" I'm like, I don't know. That's how he likes to do it, and he thinks it's hilarious. He's also like, "Hey, why are some people wearing masks in the game and some people aren't?" I have no idea, son. I can't even explain it. That's just that because that's a microcosm of our society.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Tibbs has been great. I think in theory it'll just take like 20 games for the team to really develop under Tibbs to start seeing the real difference. But I think I'm seeing a difference already. The team seems actually like they want to play well for Tibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks made a huge point of bringing in they brought in obviously Tibbs. They brought in Woods as an assistant coach. They brought in that guy Kenny Payne. They brought in a bunch of development coaches. Maybe some development's going to happen here.
Maybe.
I
It's
mean,
possible.
Kenny Payne was Randall's coach in Kentucky. Like you've had a coach that actually like even like who got through to Randall in college. Like this is, I don't know. It's like a pretty interesting. Maybe the Knicks are going to be entertaining this year.
So far, so good. So our email is nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. Jorge writes, I don't want to overreact after that big W. That being said, do we beat the Bucks in 5 or 6 games in the conference finals?
I go 6 on that one.
Yeah, 6. I mean, I would say it's 7-game series, but like, I don't know. You see that play when Mitch kind of stopped the Greek Freak? That was he didn't foul him. That was great. I think we're seeing more of that in the playoffs.
Yep.
Jonathan writes, so apparently Randall is a good player.
Yes.
I mean,
It's
I always
weird how
thought
that
Randall
works.
was a good player. I don't know why people were so down on him.
Yeah, Peter, were you as down as like a lot of like I was always like he is kind of our best player. Why is everyone like we have to get rid of him right away? What was your take on him? Coming into the season, were you as down on him?
No. I mean, I think people were they had unrealistic expectations. He was consistently our best player through like horrendous period, and people just were super. No, I mean, he's always had the ability to score, and I think this year, I mean, in the short season, we've seen him develop an ability to actually like pass, which is incredible. So no, I wasn't too down on him, but it's just the way the game is, right? Like people expect magic immediately. On this team, and that makes us buy crap players and waste money, and we repeat the cycle. Hopefully the cycle is over. I pray to God it's over.
Yes. Hopefully they have something sustained from here. If Quickly
like develop
can actually
a team.
If Quickly can actually be good, like the Quickly we're expecting now, we're really on to something with this roster. I mean, like if Randall plays well, RJ steps forward, Doc starts developing. I don't know, and Quickly plays well. Like the Knicks could be like a fun team.
Yeah.
LA in 7 in the finals, right?
Yeah. I mean, LeBron's going down in 4. We're sweeping the Lakers, but it's fine.
Yeah.
More emails. We'll finish we can end the show at some point. We can finish the questions off the show.
Yeah.
I mean on Twitch.
That is it for emails, and we are out of time. So thank you for listening, everybody. NY Knicks podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the live shows because if you don't, you're going to miss our Facebook questions right now.
Yeah, I mean, most shows will fit them in. This show we failed because there's so much fun stuff to talk about. But we're going to answer them on Twitch. And Jay, you're going to release a uncut episode with the rest of the answers?
Yeah, I usually put the full video on YouTube. So again,
Okay.
the YouTube channel is TITOWAJ, and you go there and you can see the full video and the stuff that's not on the podcast.
Could you hide the YouTube channel better with like something else people can't figure out? Like that, no one's gonna find that YouTube channel. That
I mean, it's 7 letters. I'm pretty sure they could find it.
Peter, do you know what the letters are?
No.
I think Peter's smart enough to go back and listen should he want to.
Yeah, probably could. Hopefully, could figure it out. But
We could probably post that somewhere. Okay, so you want to play the goodbye song and then we'll do the questions?
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.